Hello. Wait, what am I meant to be looking at here other than those footsteps? I feel like there's something more I should be looking at. Apparently not. Out of the way! Hello.
Watson, what do you make of this?
What a horrific sight. It has lain here for at least a week.
On the contrary, Watson, once again you see, but fail to observe. The warmth of the local climate and the exceptional humidity undoubtedly sped up the rate of decomposition. Based upon my calculations, the body has been here for 5 days.
And that's probably the brother.
Interesting. The person who sat here was fond of cigars.
Which, yes, which would fit with the 5 days.
Papers were burned, and great care was taken to destroy everything of any value to our case. We will find nothing further in this place. This must be Arnson. He appears fond of cigars.
That would make sense of the ashtray. Back around here. Various spatters.
Ah, it's a ham. What a delectable aroma. If only I were hungry.
Yes, all the storehouse bits and pieces have been left. Is that where we've just come in? That's where we've just come in.
These clothes belong to a servant, and judging from their size, he is a small man. Arnson, with his servant, no doubt.
Right. It's about to start writing. And then in here...
I cannot budge the handle. They must have lodged something behind it to hold fast the door. Shh, Watson, listen. Whoever you are, open up. We mean you no harm. Open the door, for God's sake. It's a matter of life or death.
This is useless, Holmes.
Watson, your sensibility is appreciated. We shall come back later.
Later. Okay.
This blood on the ground came from a deep wound.
Upstairs then. I mean, there's that corridor. We're now upstairs. We're now on the level above. Yeah, there we go. So that's the way up. His bedroom. Oh, hello, a letter. In order to wind up the unique watch, you need to find the figures corresponding to those of the clock. According to the same logic, 2 digits are already marked to help you figure out what method to use. So, 7 and 3 both go to 2. 10 goes to 4. 9 goes to 3. Okay. What do I even do with this? I think I've got an idea, because my brain is going. They're all even. These 3 are even. 9 is odd. 9 is a square number, so it has an odd number of factors. So I'm wondering if that might be the way that goes. But, I mean, clearly this is a puzzle that's going to...
A newspaper from 5 days ago. Someone has torn the last page.
So that...
Well, it seems Arnson tried his hand at a small riddle in this newspaper. How strange. He does not seem the type to take interest in mathematical conundrums.
Unless that's a code for something that he was aware of.
This metal tube is approximately 40 centimeters in length and 18 in diameter. It bears a small tag which reads, "This one without defect. My sincere apologies, E. Otis."
What the devil are you doing, Holmes?
He's in the group that are collecting the various people. And he wanted to try and collect this servant, but they want them to be without defect, and he, can't talk. Dear Mr. Arneson, it was a rare pleasure to encounter your extraordinary altruistic attitude towards your employee, young Davy. Few would have made the effort to discover the truth of his affliction, and most would have discharged this boy from this service without hesitation. It is fortunate that Dr. Gallagher, who has expertise in these matters, is also your neighbour. Without his intervention, it is doubtful we would have been introduced, and then you would not have had the answers about this young man that you have been seeking. First, I will tell you that Davy's problems are psychological rather than physical. As you've already noticed, he hears and understands perfectly well. A medical examination also revealed his vocal organs are unimpaired. The final diagnosis is that a psychological trauma or mental blockage is what prevents him from speaking. As for your anecdote concerning the coins and discovery of the incredible talent that this young man seems to have for figures, it reminds me of similar child prodigy cases. I have requested their files from my colleagues and hope to learn more. All I can say now is that your employee has a phenomenal memory for figures, and that an adapted teaching program could enable him to exploit this talent further and benefit his community. Best regards, Professor Lakoga? Lakoga. Hello. Fantastic Hunts by D. Niles. But our most disturbing tale about wild creatures of the marshes and swamps comes from Louisiana, near the city of New Orleans. Frightening events have plagued the region in recent history. At the time this book was put to press, rumours about mysterious disappearances, discoveries of mutilated bodies, and a fearsome beast of the swamps continues to haunt the poorer quarters and dockyards of this city. Our story begins 15 years ago when a noted citizen of New Orleans contacted a world-renowned hunter known as Ward. This gentleman, who wishes to remain anonymous, retained Ward to track and kill a beast that was terrorising his workers. These freed men worked in his fishery and lived in infamous wooden shacks built along the outer banks of the swamp. Over the last year or more, there were mounting numbers of unexplained disappearances and deaths, which happened with alarming regularity, particularly at the high tide. His men reported finding the mutilated and half-eaten bodies of men floating out from the swamp, and even more alarmingly, young women had also been mysteriously disappearing. At first, he appeared... Lakovka. Sorry, it's an F, not a G. At first, he appealed to the local authorities, but was met with indifference. They blamed these incidents on his own hired men who lived beside the swamp. The local constabularies reasoned that these people originated in Africa, where sacrificial rites involving young virgins were common. As for the fate of the men found dead, they argued this was most certainly the work of alligators, which filled the swamps. Our good citizen thought this highly unlikely, as the area was teeming with game, things they'd probably rather face. Yeah, this is probably where they started sacrificing then, this cult. He knew from personal experience that alligators rarely attack humans when fish and natural food are readily available. He also rejected the notion that sacrificial rites were involved. Oh, okay. Had that been the case, his men would have not asked for his help and could have handled the matter. So, their sacrificial rites, right? Ward was told the workers usually disappeared while dredging for crayfish. As far as was known, 12 girls had disappeared recently, and no less than 7 young men had been found dead. The workers now refused to enter the swamp, even to withdraw their gear. Adding to the tension were rumours of a grotesque and scaly silhouette seen by a fisherman in the distant fog. Ooh, maybe it's a deep one. Ward was offered a large sum to hunt down the presumed beast and return with it to the man's hired workers so they could return to fishing for crayfish and forget their complaints. Ward accepted the commission, cleaned his weapon, and hired a local guide who knew the swamp. They left on a boat that very same day. I assume that this is going to be Ward. For the next 2 weeks, they searched the swamp leaving early in the morning and coming back late at night. One evening, Ward came back, anxious and excited. He said they discovered a trail deep in the swamp. He and his guide heard something that initially sounded like singing, but had dreadful, guttural, and discordant voices. Wood explained that it might have been the mating call of a bull alligator or some other large reptile. He promised to go there first thing in the morning and return with its head. They left at dawn, and later gunshots were heard from the depths of the swamp. The evening came and went, with no sign of Ward or his guide, nor were they seen the next day and into the next weeks. However, the strange disappearances and deaths ended. People speculated that Ward, his guide, and the beast had killed each other in some ferocious battle. Then, some months later, an extraordinary thing occurred. A fisherman discovered what appeared to be a white man caught in quicksand. The man, upon discovery, shouted with panic and attempted to escape. The fisherman was forced to stun him with an oar in order to bring him in. The man had moss, seaweed, and muck, all teeming with vermin, covering his gaunt frame. His features were buried under a thick beard and wild tangle of hair. Despite his appearance, which was barely human, some people claimed they recognized Ward's eagle eyes. He was also naked. His teeth were strangely sharpened, and his eyes were feverish and barely able to focus. Worst of all were the terrible, strange scars that covered his entire body. Their symmetry resembled the work of some deranged artist or madman. Though many thought the opposite, the authorities decided that Ward had inflicted these marks upon himself and locked him in a cell, saying he must surely be insane. After doctors examined him, he was officially judged to be mad and sent to the mental hospital in Baton Rouge. There he remained locked up until the end of his short life. He spent the last few months of his life there, eating only raw fish and screaming to all who could hear it that they had saved him. He cried out that he was one with them, and he spoke to him in a dream, and his awakening was soon to come. Another historical tale, even more disturbing, comes to us from the British moors, where a white rabbit... ...
This book has been read often. Tales of Fantastic Hunts by D. Niles.
Yes. Is that what that is in the map? Is that where this is? Oh no, we're here. We don't know what's in this section. I don't know if we don't know or if...
Closed. Tight.
Oh, right, okay. Lemon.
This should prove useful.
Lemon tree. Just pick up the entire tree, why not? Okay, so... Can I get in this side?
Closed. Tight.
No. I can't go in there. This is the front door.
Closed. Tight.
Oh, that's the kitchen. I couldn't really see anything that needed doing other than... Oh, hello. Oh, that's a mousetrap.
Ah, it's a ham. What a...
I mean, why can't I pick up the ham? Clearly I'm going to have to interact with it at some point. Right. There's a door here. Can I go in?
Closed. Tight.
No. Right. I don't have any I don't have anything to carry water for the horse. It kind of annoys me that we can't help the horse.
Closed. Tight.
Is that... What is that? Is that a bear with a salmon as the knocker? I quite like that. That's as far as that goes. Can I walk through the flowers? No. So there's something over here to grab. This is the problem with things like this, is that they're here decoratively, admittedly. But, hello.
This should prove useful.
Metal rod. Okay, I mean, if you insist.
Water.
I mean, if I'd...
Water. Water.
Oops. I don't have anything to carry that in, which is annoying.
Water.
Because that's just nails. Can I use the rod with something? I'm wondering if you could use the rod, if I could use the rod as like a fishing line or something. No. I mean, there's so many things in here I'm looking at going, this thing is important, probably. Wait, hang on.
Curious, there's some mud that appears to have come from underneath the bed. Yes, there is something here.
Knife to pry it up.
A stone of small size, but of splendid colour. It seems to have no flaws, and I doubt that it originated in the American continent.
Okay. Ruby. Kabbalah. Right, okay, so we've found something new. Do I show that to you?
Whoever you are, open up.
This is useless, Holmes.
Watson, your sensibility...
Come back later. So I need to do something. There we are. And this.
The body was dragged from behind this door.
Yeah, the body that's out there. So they walked in this way. They walked out through this door. Dragging him along.
The body was dragged from behind...
Yes, behind this door. You can see where he's kind of the shoes.
Blood!
Yes. And then we come back here and he goes over there, which we can't get past at the moment. I'm going to look ahead. Alright. No. No. Oh, right. Source of water, something to carry it. Nothing several hooks. Back. Fortunately back. Yeah, directly. Kitchen. Oh, something to hold water in the kitchen. Oh, the back door of the house. I thought it meant the back door of the stable. That's a jug. We could hold water in that. Really?
Watson, hold the basin. I think you know what to do with it.
Okay, I tried to interact with things there, and it wouldn't let me. Right. There you go. Going to save the horse. Going to save the horse. Wanted to save the horse, now I'm going to do it. So yeah, we've got ourselves this basin of water.